Every year, many parts of Malaysia experience heavy rainfall. When the rain continues for hours, river begins to rise. Once the river can no longer hold the water, it overflows, causing flood that affect homes, road, farms, and thousands of people. In Kedah, floods have become more frequent in recent years. Although heavy rainfall is the main trigger, scientists believe that human activity are making flood more severe. But how much do people really understand about this issue? And what does science tell us about the relationship between human activities and flooding? To answer this question, we interview an expert from Department of Irrigation and Drainage (JPS) and a resident of Kedah to compare their perspective with scientific understanding.
Urban development and deforestation have the greatest impact because they significantly reduce water absorption and increase surface runoff. I think the immediate impact would be damage to houses, roads, and infrastructures. Businesses and farmers suffered financial losses. Action should be taken by the organization or the government by improving waste management, upgrade and maintain drainage system, carry out reforestation and protect green areas, also increase public awareness.
Untuk saya, yes. Sekarang part tu manusia memainkan peranan untuk berlakunya banjir yang sangat-sangat luar biasa dan sangat-sangat tidak terkawal dan directly dia menyumbang kepada climate change.
Kalau kita tanam balik pun, kalau kita tanam pokok yang lain yang bukan balak contohnya, memang akan mengganggu juga.
Okey, kalau kita tengok satu lagi, apabila kawasan yang semula jadi dia ada banyak juga pokok besar tu satu. Dia ada pokok lutut bumi yang original dia akan tutup dekat tanah.
Faham.
Okey, mana kalau kita panggil ni adalah shrub lah.
Shrub granite.
So dia akan litup, so apa-apa pun hujan dia takkan terus direct pada tanah, so takkan berlaku lah hakisan pada tanah atau kawasan tersebut lah. So yang tu kita kena tengok. Sebab tu saya kata kalau kesan banjir ni akan memberi kesan kepada kesihatan juga. Macam tadilah, kesihatan mental dan juga kesihatan selepas pada banjir itu sendiri. Dia akan ada masalah-masalah, penyakit-penyakit berjangkit lah. Macam kita tahulah, penyakit bawah air ni macam-macam, dan juga kemungkinan tempoh air nak surut tu akan ada kawasan-kawasan bertakung dan masalah-masalah macam-macam lah. Dia akan jadi masalah denggi pun ada. So benda-benda ni masalah penyakit. So untuk saya akan ada dua lah permasalahan. Satu dari segi ekonominya, dari segi traumanya, dan satu lagi dari segi masalah-masalah bawah air lah, masalah-masalah penyakit jangkit ni. Macam-macam lah, penyakit kulit, denggi. Saya buat macam tu lah.
Flooding is a natural process that occurs when a river receives more water than it can carry. During prolonged or intense rainfall, water flows into a river faster than it can drain away. As the water level continues to rise, the river eventually overflows its bank, causing flood in nearby communities. Although heavy rainfall triggers flooding, human activity can make flood much more severe. One major factor is deforestation. Forests act like a natural sponges by intercepting rainfall and allowing water to soak into the soil. When trees are removed, less water is absorbed into the ground and more rainwater flow quickly into a nearby river. This increases surface runoff and raises the risk of flooding. Rapid urban development also contributes to flooding. Natural land is replaced with roads, buildings, and concrete surface that prevent rainwater from soaking into the ground. Instead, the water flows directly into the drain and river, increasing the volume and speed of runoff. Improper waste disposal can also worsen flooding. When drains become blocked by rubbish, rainwater cannot flow efficiently. As a result, water accumulates quickly during heavy rainfall, increasing the likelihood of flash flood, particularly in urban areas. A clear example occurred during the 2022 flood disaster in Baling, Kedah. Although intense rainfall triggered
Rescue
the
teams have
event,
recovered the
scientific
bodies of 3
studies
family
suggest
members
that
who went
changes in
missing
the
in
land
floods
use,
and water surge
reduced forest
phenomenon
cover,
that
and
hit
steep
Kampong Ivoy
terrain
in Kupang,
increased
Baling
surface
on
runoff,
Monday.
making the flood
53-year-old
more
Muhammad Akib
destructive.
and her daughter-in-law.
Recent GIS-based research continue to identify Baling as one of the area with the high flood hazard risk in Kedah. Flood affect communities in many ways. Houses, roads, and public infrastructure may be damaged, while businesses and farmers often experience major financial losses. Flood waters also carry sediment, waste, and pollutants into rivers, reducing water quality and affecting aquatic ecosystem. Beyond physical damage, many families experience stress, anxiety, and emotional trauma long after the floodwaters have receded. Both the Kedah resident and the JPS officer recognize that flooding in Kedah is influenced by both natural factor and human activities. They identify heavy rainfall as the main trigger, while also highlighting deforestation, rapid urban development, and poor drainage maintenance as important contributors. These views are consistent with hydrological research, which show that land use changes reduce infiltration and increase surface runoff, making flood more severe. Although both interviewees identify similar causes of flooding, the depths of their understanding differ. The resident mainly describe visible human activity such as land clearing and urban development based on personal experience and observation. In contrast, the JPS officer explained the underlying processes, including how changes in the land use affect water infiltration, surface runoff, river capacity, and overall flood management. Reducing flood risk require action from many sectors. The government and local authorities should continue improving drainage system, protect forest catchment area, and ensure that development projects follow proper environmental planning. Communities also play an important role. Simple action such as disposing of waste responsibility, keeping drains clear, and staying informed about flood warning can help reduce the flood risk. Flood may begin with a heavy rainfall, but human activity often determine how severe they become. By working together to protect our river, forest, and surrounding environment, we can build safer communities and reduce the impact of the future flood.